Hey you guys, I have not been on here in a really long time, but I am back with a message, and the title is His Inactivity Does Not Mean His Inability. And so this is based off a quote that I found on Pinterest, of course, and I just want to go ahead and read that for you guys. It says, "Sometimes it's hard to see God working in the middle of our story." Isn't that true? That is really seriously so true. Sometimes it is really hard to see Him working in our situation. It says, you want to trust His heart, but you can't seem to trace His hand. And it says, here's your reminder today that He is not done. What may seem like God's inactivity is never His inability. He is always able. End quote. So that is so true, though. It really is hard to see God working in our situations sometimes. We might be praying about something and waiting on something and having faith and hope that He's going to come through for us, and not see, and us not be able to see Him working in our situation, not see Him physically working, or not even feel the effects of Him working. And it might seem like He's not there, and that nothing is happening. You're not seeing the movement that you want to see in your situation, or you're not seeing the answered prayers, or you're not receiving the guidance or the instruction that you're asking for. And it can, when we get in situations like that, it can really get discouraging. I've kind of been in that situation for a little while now. I've been praying and believing for God to come through on some things for me, and so I am in like a season where I feel like He is really, really testing my faith in Him, and my patience, and my trust in Him. It's been really hard to be patient and to remain faithful and keep believing, and so he's been working on me really, really good in this season of my life right now, and really growing my faith and my patience. So I can relate to that quote, of the part of the quote saying that it's really hard to see God working in the middle of your story, because like it said, you don't always see Him working, and you don't always feel Him working. But it is a good reminder that He is always able. Just because we don't see it and we don't feel it doesn't mean that He can't do it. There is nothing that is too hard for God. And that's just kind of something that we need to remember, that just because you can't see Him working or feel Him working doesn't mean that He's not, and it doesn't mean that He can't do it. He's a big God, and nothing is impossible for Him. And so I just want to say that, whatever situation in your life right now where it feels like God might be absent, you're not seeing the movement in your situation, or maybe you're not seeing answered prayers, or maybe you just feel really stagnant and whatnot. Maybe you find yourself at the point where you're just like, okay, I've been praying about this thing, I have been believing, I've been having faith, and maybe this thing is just too big and it is not in the cards for me. Like, this is just not gonna happen, and I need to accept that, and I'm wasting my time praying. Maybe that's where you are finding yourself right now. Or maybe the opposite. Maybe you are finding yourself praying about something or believing for something that's actually really small, seemingly small. And you're thinking to yourself, gosh, why am I even bringing this silly little request to the Lord? Like, He's got bigger things, bigger prayers to answer, or bigger fish to fry, or, how could I even, think about bringing this silly little thing to Him? Maybe that's where you find yourself. Whatever it might be, just remember that He cares about all of our wants, all of our needs and our requests. The Word says to bring, through prayer and supplication and with thanksgiving, make our requests known to him. So he wants us to bring our requests to him, no matter how big or how small they are. And his word says, cast your care, your anxieties and your worries on me, because I care for you. So he cares about our wants and our needs and our desires, and he does tell us to bring these things to him. And so no matter how big or how small they are, he is working. If you're praying about something, rest assured that he is working on it, behind the scenes, on your behalf, for your good, and for his glory. The prayer that you prayed is not too big. It is not too big for God. And the crazy faith that you have been having for this thing, in the hope that you've had, it has not been in vain, and it has not been for nothing. What may seem like his inactivity is never his inability. Ephesians 3:20 tells us, now to him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above and beyond all that we could ask, think, or imagine, according to the power that works in us. So there is nothing that is too big or too small for God to do. We have a big God, you guys, and he can do anything, and he wants to do good things for us, and he wants to answer our prayers and bless us and come through for us and supply for, supply for all our needs. And we just have to remember that it's going to be in his way and in his timing. And his way and his timing is always good, and it is always perfect, and it's always going to be far better than anything we could come up with on our own. And so just know that if if you're praying about something, know and rest assured that he is working on it. Even if it seems like he's not, and even if you can't feel it, he is, and it's always going to be for our good and for his glory. So I just want to say to stay encouraged and stay patient, keep believing, keep having that crazy faith, and just know that he is going to come through on your behalf for this situation. He's going to come through for you, and he's going to provide for you in whatever way it is that you're needing. And I'm going to go as far as to say that you need to get excited again. Get excited again and show him your faith. Show him that you believe that he is working on your behalf, and that he's going to come through, and that you are excited about whatever it is that he is working on behind the scenes, because you know that your God is faithful, and that he is good, and he's up to something good. So I believe that. I believe that for you. I believe that for me, and I want you to believe it too. So I hope that this encouraged someone today. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I will see you in my next video.